Okay, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. And before I start this video, disclaimer, right? Khabardar, khabardar, khabardar. So first thing, in this video, I don't want to target any company as such. Please understand, right? Overall, in this video, I want to just discuss out that what are the issues, right? What are the problems we have, right? What are the reasons, right, of this thing happening, and what are the solutions for that, right? So I would suggest that see the whole video till the end, and with that, you will understand the reasons as well as the solutions. And please contribute down below in the YouTube comment that what do you think, right? So in this video, I'm discussing about the layoffs in India, and specifically my focus is on the layoff which was announced 1 month back from TCS, where they have said that they have planned to lay off approximately 2% of the workforce, that is approximately 12,000 employees, right? So let us try to understand the reasons. So in my mind, I have 5 reasons why TCS has taken this decision, right? And for that, I am talking about 2 solutions as well as at the end, right? So let us get started. TCS is a government company. If you want to retire, it is TCS. अगर life set चाहिए, अगर आपको retire होना है, तो join TCS. So look what has happened for the company which was supposed to be stable, which was supposed to be the most safest IT job company. Look what has happened, right? First thing, when it comes to IT, right, nothing is safe out here, right? Things change in within 5 years out here. So saying that something is safe, something is set, it does not work, right? I don't know why, but TCS was nicknamed as government job of IT, right? I heard that people saying that if you're talking about the safest job in India in IT, then TCS is a thing. I remember people who want to follow their passion, who want to learn guitar, or who want to prepare for exams, right? Join TCS, right? People sit on bench for months, for years together, right? It's fine. It is TCS. So let us try to understand that why this most safest Indian IT company is removing 2% of its global workforce, and why this 12,000 layoffs, which is 2% approximately, translates to 12,000 layoffs, right? Why is it happening? What are the reasons for it? Now, disclaimer, I'm not trying to point out or pinpoint a company here. Remember, in the last 2 years, many IT companies have done massive layoffs, right? And the whole point here is to understand that what are the reasons, right? And as a developer, what we should learn, from all of these events, and how we should be better prepared for the further coming days. So let us start with the reason number 1. Manager should be non-technical. How much time you have heard this sentence? भाई कब तक काम करते रहेगा, कब तक कोडिंग करते रहेगा, मैनेजर कब बनेगा, आगे कब बढ़ेगा? I'm translating this Hindi statement into English down below, right? Whenever I was working in the IT company, this statement was always said by many devs around me or many seniors around me. In other words, it was implying that if you want to grow up in your career, if you want to grow up in your ladder, right, monetarily or position wise, right, you have to start becoming non-technical. So until you don't become a non-technical project manager, you don't see a growth. Let me know in the comments below that how many times you have heard this statement, right? At least in my career, whichever years I have worked in the Indian IT industry, this statement is like a slogan. So first thing, let me tell you that I'm not against developers becoming managers or developers becoming leads. They have to become leads. They have to grow up the ladder, right? Definitely. But if you look at the profile of the managers, what the Indian IT industry sees is that the profile is something like this. First thing, he has to be non-tech. Second thing, his work is people management. Now, I don't understand this word people management. What exactly people management means? You are going to go and motivate them, and how do you motivate them, right? Most of the developers get motivated only by salary, frankly, I will say, right? So fine, but he should do people management. He should be non-technical. He should be looking at the task allocation. He should do follow-ups, right? And the biggest one is that he should be non-technical. He should move away from programming. He should move away from IT solutioning and focus more on the people thing, right? This is where my problem is, that you are saying that a manager should be a non-tech. Again, when I say a manager should be a tech, does not mean that he has to sit for programming. I'm very clear on that. What I'm trying to say is that if a developer is doing some task out there, he should at least understand what that task is. If the developer is saying that this task takes 10 man days, and if you have no idea what he is doing, right, how are you going to guide him? How are you going to see from the top level that the solution what he's providing is proper or not, right? So I think that this thing that a manager should be non-technical, should only do people management, should only do allocation, and should only do scheduling, I feel that this in the Indian IT industry should be stopped. So now if you look at the TCS CEO statement, right, what it says is that primarily it says that this will impact about 2% of our global workforce. And look at the next sentence, look at this specific sentence which I am speaking here. This will impact the 2% of our global workforce primarily in the middle and the senior grades. Primarily in the middle and the senior grades. This is very important. Now, who are these people who are impacted in the middle and the senior grades? If you watch very closely, many of them have left tech long time back. Because of the promotions and the cushion zone, what TCS gives you, right? You grow up the ladder definitely, right? You start becoming non-tech, you start performing activities which are definitely important. These are all activities are definitely important, but your 99% of your time you are doing just non-tech activities, follow-ups, emailing, this, that, and that is also important, but you are now far away from technology. See, as a senior person, right, you should be able to guide your juniors, right? At least you should know what they're doing. For example, if somebody says I'm using ADO.NET, you will say no, use entity framework, use code first. At least you should know what is code first. I'm not saying that you should know the commands of code first. Add-migration, update-database, you inherit from DB context. No, I'm not talking at that level. But you should actually know, okay, if I do code first, then what happens is, I can switch my vendor database very easily. Because if you look at code first, just you change the connection string, right? You change the library, right? And you can make a switch, from SQL Server to Oracle very easily. So what I'm saying is that technology decisions, right? At least that senior manager should know, isn't it? Reason number 2, clients' hesitancy to pay for non-tech project managers. So when the bills are sent, by the Indian IT companies, to the companies out over there, to the clients, right? So when the client looks at the bill, right, he says, okay, this is the bill, fine, right? Developer X amount of cost, project leads X amount of cost, QA X amount of cost, fine. And then finally you have that small line out there saying that project managers 2% of the amount. So what the project managers do is that project managers, if let's say that he's leading 4 or 5 projects, he will say, okay, 2% of my thing goes here, 2% of my thing goes here, 2% of my thing goes here. Life set, right? But the problem comes from the client side, because the client says, okay, so you have a project manager bill out here, but even I had a project manager from here. Now there comes the conflict, right? In other words, client has high hesitancy when it comes to pay money for non-tech activities, because they also have a project manager there, and now you are also having a project manager here, and something the client is not able to digest. One of the other things, which happens in India is that as you become senior and senior, your money should keep rising. Quite a wrong thought process, actually, right? Because as you become seniors, definitely you have a lot of value in terms of, you will add in terms of governance, in terms of showing the right path, right? But for that value of guidance, frankly, the amount and remuneration what is asked is quite high, right? And the real fight when you're delivering the project happens down below, in the by the juniors, by the team leads, by the seniors, right? And somewhere then what the seniors feel is that, okay, like the senior developer feels is that, okay, I'm waiting here till 8 o'clock, the project manager is now leaving, right? How is it adding value, right? So he starts thinking negatively. If you look at outside, right, if you have worked somewhere, US or UK, anywhere out there, you will find that you have young project managers and you have developers who are old, right? And the project manager is getting paid less than the developers. So the developers are getting paid more. And the work of project manager is out there, to see that, the developers don't get any kind of hurdle, they prioritize their task and so on. And he is okay That young chap is the manager, but he's okay with that less salary. He does not say that, oh, like I'm a manager now, so I should get more money. That's not how it works, right? So I feel that, is he a manager or is he a coordinator, right? That question has to be answered. And if you're getting that answer, accordingly, the salaries should be allocated. Reason number 3, be a profitable billable resource. Not just billable, a profitable billable resource, right? Means what? If you look at again the statement given out there in the TCS, what they have said is that a lot of people think that this is because of AI the jobs were removed, right? So he has clearly stated, no, this is not because of AI, right? This is driven when there is a skill mismatch, or where we think that we have not been able to deploy someone. So someone is sitting on bench for months together. In TCS we have seen that people maze le rahe log baithe bench pe, right? So those people are definitely a soft target, right? And second, also, if you see the other statement given out here, he says that we train a lot of people, right? And essentially after training, whether we have the deployment feasibility. So sometimes let us say your salary is 50,000, right? But the client is ready to pay only 50,000, or let's say 40,000. Then you cannot be deployed out there, because even if you're able to deploy it out there, it's a loss, isn't it? So there should be a deployment feasibility as well, right? So if your salary is X, you should be getting X amount, from the deployment, or else again it's questionable, right? So again the category of people who were targeted where the billing mismatch was there, right? Either that per head, that billing what was happening is under loss. Second is either the person is on bench for long months. Those people were also soft target. Reason number 4, over recruitment during Corona. That is over recruitment during this year 2020 and 21. So if you remember, when Corona was there, right, everybody wanted to create online application, online barber, online doctor, online teacher. I don't know, everything was online at that time, right? So in that time, that is from the mid of 2020 till the mid of 2021, there was 163% shoot in recruitment. 163% is a big froth. It's over recruitment. It is hyper recruitment. I don't know what words to use here, right? And mostly these recruitments were of devs, frankly. A lot of these recruitments were of developers who can make mobile apps, who can make online websites, and all that, right? So again, this froth or this over recruitment has to go somewhere, because after Corona, what happened? Everything went offline. So the 2023, 24, and now also a lot of people are saying, okay, WFH is now almost gone, right? So where will these online devs go now, right? The online applications are no more needed. So that is where again this layoffs which are happening is also happening in those areas, right? And one of the things, what happened during that time is many of the people, from other fields, like if you are a mechanical engineer or if you're a civil engineer, there was an attraction towards this fancy world of IT development, saying, okay, this is all work from home. It was all looking very zazzy, and many people try to jump into that. Now, I'm not against that people from other fields should jump into IT, but the background, what they have, that background has to be then addressed. Because when you're doing mechanical or when you're doing electrical or something, right, programming is there, right, but must be it is 2 or 3 subjects, right? So you need to have a really solid background for today. If you see, you need to really understand how to design the database. You should be able to write SQL queries. You should be able to do object-oriented programming, understand the web application concept, and so on. Now, for that, a good understanding of 3 to 4 years is needed, right? A base is needed. Now, the people who come from mechanical and from civil fields out here, right? Also, I've seen people from accounts field coming in. They have to go through a 1 year or 2 years of rigorous training, right? Or rigorous understanding of IT. And many people were just jumping into the project, right? So again, that froth somewhere is normalizing. And many people are saying that AI took away the job. No, AI has not taken away taken away job. Specifically, if you look at TCS, the TCS CEO has made an explicit statement that this is not happening because of AI, right? So actually, AI did not take away the jobs. AI exposed out that how little some of these roles are adding value. I'm repeating this sentence. AI did not take away these jobs. they just exposed out that some of the people's roles or some of the devs role or whatever roles, right, are adding very less value. So what has happened is now AI has become a reason to do layoffs. I remember, when we had this Twin Tower attack, something happened in US, right? In India, people are saying because of Osama bin Laden, we are removing you. It was so funny, right? So now here also, this time also, it's a reason, right? Okay, we are removing you. Y2K was a reason. So AI has just become an excuse for the IT companies to give away this froth. And one more thing, what I have seen is that in the recent layoffs, even Microsoft has done layoffs, even Meta has done layoffs, right? But the developers who are working in these companies, right, there are still takers in the market. They will get a job because most of them are techie, right? Most of them are technical people. So they will get a job, must be 20% less, right? And second, they also get a good package, a severance package, saying that, okay, here is a 6 months package or 8 months of package. So the package is good out there to sustain, right? To feed their houses. And second, they're technically strong themselves. But, specifically from Indian IT companies like TCS or Infosys, when the mid-level managers, have issues, right? One is that the non-tech thing is there. For a long time, they are doing people management activity or they are doing activities which are more management level activities. So somewhere they are not into technology. So there are very less takers in the market. It is very much possible that many of these people will probably never return to IT. Reason number 5, and I think that this is the biggest reason. If you like this reason, then please put down in the comment. I think that this is the biggest reason. The biggest reason is to instill fear, to send warnings. I'll tell you why. To send warnings. So TCS has a workforce of approximately 6 lakh. Approximately there are 6 lakhs employees out there, 600,000 employees, which comprises of both IT and ITES. If you look at that 2% figure, that is just 12,000. 2% that translate approximately to 12,000, right? First thing, let me say that, people who have lost their jobs, I know that it shakes their whole world. I'm talking, from the numbers perspective, from the management perspective, from the overall TCS, these numbers are still very less, right? I'll tell you why these numbers are less, because the attrition rate of TCS is almost 12 to 13%. 12 to 13% means from 70,000 to 80,000 people are already leaving TCS. So this 2%, they could have just done it from internally. Why they have to make it a news, show it to everyone, and the CEO has to come and talk, right? So I feel that it is like a message, sent to the middle management or to the senior management or to people who are on bench saying that, look, you want to work from home, right? We don't want to do it, right? If not, then right? So I feel that it is a messaging, and that will actually shake off the bench people who are still sitting, right? They will try to hunt for work, right? It will make the whole TCS, wherever they feel that the people who are just lethargic, right, they also will get tightened up, right? So I think, I feel that this is also like a messaging which is sent, because already TCS attrition rate is 12 to 13%, which is almost 70 to 80,000. Now you will say, sir, this has IT and ITS also. I understand, but look from the industry standard point of view, right? 85% is the IT which normally leaves, and 15% is ITS normally. So if you have 100 people working in a company, if you have IT and ITS, mostly IT technical people leave more, and ITS leaves less, right? So even if I look from that numbers also, still I feel that 50 to 60,000 people are leaving TCS, which are from the core IT, right? And who are leaving? The people who are getting jobs outside, who are technical, right? They are only hopping. Now people who are on bench, who are having a gala time, who are doing all this people management, holiday approval, and see, I'm not trying to demean that work, right? But the point is that who are doing lot of non-tech activities are adjusting with TCS, and I think this is where the top management wants to hit, right? So I feel again, this is the biggest reason. Instill fear, right? Make the employee feel that it is high time you have to perform, you have to change. Also, let me give you a different perspective as well, because when we look at news at TCS or look at news from TCS or Infosys, right? We are only talking about the traditional Indian IT companies, but we cannot neglect the GCCs, the global capability centers, in India. So if you look at Microsoft has its own office here, Google has its own office here. So rather than going through an outsourcing company, they have opened their own office here. And if you look at the GCCs are definitely recruiting more than the traditional IT companies, right? So this is again one point to be looked after. So just don't look at, okay, like what happened in Infosys or what happened in TCS. See, overall, if you see, I'm flashing the figure on the screen. Overall, the IT recruitment of India is increasing year by year. Now, definitely this IT involves also ITS and BPO and so on, right? It is very difficult to get a segregate number, but overall the trend is going up, which you are seeing on the screen. Second, if I go and do a plot also about the traditional IT recruitment versus the GCC, which you can see on the screen, the blue ones are the traditional IT, and you can see that 2021, 22, 24, you can 2022 to 24, there is a downtrend, and clearly this downtrend I feel is the corona backslash, right? But if you look at the GCCs are constant. They have not really downsized. I do know when I was recording this video, there is a layoff which is coming off from Oracle, right? Remember, Oracle has removed some X percentage of people from India, but that is around 2,000, 3,000, not a big number out there. And again, they have said AI, but I feel it is not AI. I think it is the policies of the Trump. I don't know what he's doing out there, but I think it is more to do with policies, rather than the AI, right? So overall, what I'm saying is that when you are looking at these kind of news, right, also remember that there is a significant recruitment happenings in GCC, and that is quite strong as compared to the traditional IT. So now that we know all the reasons out here, and I want everyone to contribute, specifically people who are from TCS, please note that I'm not going to go and follow your ID and complain to your company, right? Please go and write down what do you feel from internally, what happened, right, that this was triggered in TCS, because you are the better persons to talk, right? And also other people also, right? Other people in general, they all know if a person is working in Infosys, he knows about TCS, a TCS person knows about Infosys, right? So please write down that what are the other reasons. Now let us talk about the solutions also, right? I want everyone to contribute, because as a developer, I only have one side of perspective, right? And I'm sure that there are many perspectives out there, which if you put down, if you contribute, right, it will help everyone. So let's talk about the solution. The solution first from the employee's perspective, right? And I feel the employees, have the biggest mistake is from the employee side. You know why? Now, people who were in TCS, for so many years, did you upgrade yourself? Did you read every day or at least weekly if a new thing comes up in AI or if a new thing comes up in cloud, right? Did you upgrade? No. Saturday, Sunday are holidays to almost all the employees. Tell me, from your heart, that how many of the employees really go on Saturday, Sunday. I'm not saying to go and read every weekend, but I'm saying in some weekend you can allocate, some evenings you can allocate, right? We have ChatGPT now, we have Google, we have so many tutorials out there, right? But when I look at, right, let me tell you the numbers, because in Questmont also we have these trainings, guys. Please, if you're looking for if you're looking to get prepared for interview from the Shisha perspective, from ASP.NET, SQL Server, Angular, right? We have all the videos out there. We have training happenings on Saturday and Sunday. This Saturday and Sunday, we are having the ADF training. We are also having the microservices training. We have huge numbers of paid subscribers, but only, let me tell you the number, only 10% come in. We have kept the trainings on Saturday and Sunday, but still only 10% come in. We have uploaded the videos, only 5 to 10% only see it, right? So what I have seen is that, when people are in the cushion zone, right, they are just sitting idle. And when this kind of thing happens, they are caught like, oh my God, like what to do now, right? So I would suggest, guys, that the best thing would be to at least read on a weekly basis, 1 hour, just 1 hour if you do, right? 1 hour, let us say this Saturday, Sunday, we start with, let us say Angular, okay? Okay, so what do we do in Angular? We do NPM installation, we do Node, okay? What do we do next, right? If you don't have the carving for learning, right, then definitely you're going to go and get into such kind of situations, right? So I think learning is the key for all the people who are in IT, irrespective, you are a manager, you are a vice president, you are a CIO, you are a CEO, or you are a junior developer, or you are a fresher, or you are a team lead. You have to keep upgrading, or else, this will be a concern, as you go ahead. Now, let us talk about the solution, which should happen from the employer side. I think the employer should make it very clear for people who are becoming seniors, you have to be technically sound. Their activities should be 80% involved in technical, 20% in management, or else, do like this, keep young coordinators. See, you can have young coordinators, right? People who are just simple graduates and they do the coordination job, right? Look at it, many of the people who want to become architect, right? They also feel hesitant. They say, oh, if I become a pure architect, I don't know what will happen, right? So the technical growth, I think the Indian IT company should appreciate for the senior. They should not think about, oh, you are a senior, you are still doing technical, it is not good, right? That kind of messaging should not go, right? That is one part. The second part is, I think, when outsourcing started with India, right? With the Indian IT companies, it started with the theme of body shopping. Remember the 90s, the Y2K times. We were called as body shoppers. Now, I don't want to translate that name into the actual English name, right? If you see, that name is not good, right? That means that we are just selling resources because we have population in India, right? Have we ever tried to create our own operating system? No. Have we ever tried to create any kind of framework? How many programming languages have come from India? Including me, I'm also blaming myself in this, right? I'm just doing teaching out here. I don't know what I should have also done something, right? So this is for everyone to think. Okay, look at it. Python has come from Europe. It has not come from US. So even Europe is coming up. Even other people are coming up. Other regions are coming up. But with India, with such a large workforce, right? We are still doing some support job. Some old code we are fixing. हाँ भाई ठीक है, $20 per hour, $10 per hour, right? So we are fighting at the lower end, and that's what the biggest problem is, right? Everybody knows about this problem, but whatever it is, right? The money is coming. 80 into 80 is the way, right? You have that margin, and you can show show your balance sheets strong, right? That is okay, but at the same time, try to see that. Are we doing intellectuality work also? So that brings us to the end of this big video, the big bakwas, whatever you can say, right? But I know that it is not a technical video, so I'm not good in making non-tech videos, right? But I felt that we should discuss about this, and I put this video out here. Let me know how you like, what do you think about this video? Also put down in the comments your thinking of the problems and the solutions, right? And remember, at the end of the day, IT is everywhere. Today, even if a small shopkeeper prints a bill, IT is there. So IT is going nowhere at the end of the day. Only thing is that we should upgrade ourselves. We should learn new things, right? Or else it will be a problem irrespective. You are in traditional IT, you are in GCC, or you are anywhere, right? Thank you very much. Happy learning, happy job hunting.